This is John Young with the Hometown News. We are at the Albany Pioneer Days here in Albany, Minnesota, and this is their opportunity to bring out every older tractor in the county. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of cool stuff here as they celebrate their Pioneer Days here in September of 2015. And we're going to be taking you through the buildings, we're going to be taking you around the grounds. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video because we're going to really give you an overview of the whole experience here at Pioneer Days in Albany, Minnesota, 2015. Let's check out the first building. So gang, we're going to be walking you around in the rest of the video of the Albany 2015 Pioneer Days ground. The video is going to get a little shaky at times because, well, it's a long walk and I had to change shoulders. So this is actually shot after the walk around, but there's a lot of cool things. I just want you to know that I'm apologizing right up front for being a little shaky with the transition from shoulder to shoulder, because that camera is really heavy when you do the whole grounds in less than an hour and a half. As we start our day here at the Albany Pioneers Days, we were looking at some of the old snowmobiles here up in the first building. We're coming in, we started and we went left. We've got a variety of different things. Some old Alice Chalmer tractors here. The Pioneer gift shop, Pioneer Days gift shop, souvenir shop right there. We're going to work our way around here and check out a bunch of the different stuff. Some older Massey Ferguson tractors right there. A lot of people here today. Cars are parked, goodness gracious, they're up the road. I'm going to just show you right there if you guys can see. I'm going to zoom in. The cars are parked up the road, filling the neighborhood fields. Just a lot of people here today. It's a beautiful day here. A WD, one of the very popular lines of Alice Chalmer tractors, the narrow front end. (1938) AC right there, Alice Chalmer Model A. (1919) Massey Harris here. I'm not sure on year yet. We'll see if we can find that on the other side maybe. I must be walking the wrong direction to get the years on some of these. That's kind of cool. Little airplane hanging up there in the rafters. That'll give you a better shot of it. Some threshers in back here. Old threshing machines. Or thrashing machines, depending upon how you pronounce it. An old manure spreader. Spikes through pieces of wood. Steel wheels. And let's take you out the door over this way, I think. Kind of catch a couple of the tractors over here. For an older tractor, he's got that one sounding really, really good. Yeah, you can hear right there. That's him running that one. 1936 right there. The 1938. (1953) Massey right there. So let's wander out, gang, and let's take a look outside and see what we see. We're going to run into a lot of people as we're headed out here. As you can see, there are tractors Tractors and more tractors. We're gonna keep going to the left here. Got some earth moving equipment right here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a big Alice. Big bulldozer there. Supposed to be where they have the entertainment in there. They've got seating and such, and someone's up on stage playing, if we can see that. It's pretty dark. We'll go wander a little closer. Okay, now we're going to jump into some additional tractors. I think we're going to work our way up there because you can see they're all the way up on the hill. We're going to reset ourselves up on the hill and start going through the tractors. So we're up here in the row of tractors, row after row after row after row, and right now they are getting ready to line up for their tractor parade. So we're going to try to walk through some of the tractors, and I've got a second camera that will hopefully be able to capture some of the parade, the tractor parade going on today. Little tractor from the Cleveland Tractor Company, and the Caterpillar. Some Oliver tractors right here. $1931 on that one. A Farmel B. $1949 McCormick right there. And then a little guy right here, right in front. 1966 McCormick, Farmel McCormick, the turbo right there. And I can remember when that was kind of a newer tractor. Nah, not that old, I didn't think. 1954, a Super Am. That one runs off LP, which is becoming a big thing now again. Vehicles that run on LP. A Super C. An F20. A Minneapolis Moline, narrow front with a cab. It certainly looks like something you'd see in the movie Cars in 1940. No, I don't see anything for information on this guy. Another Minneapolis Moline, an R has on it there. Not a model I'm familiar with. We are in the line of Minneapolis Moline right now. That's another R, and this is a Z in the Minneapolis Moline series. We got a Farmel diesel right here. It's a 400. And the guys are standing around there. We'll just jump past here. Oh, we got a case right there by him. A case tractor. And a Farmel C right here. The names over the years of the tractor companies change. We got a W9 right there. Farmel Super H, 1954 on that guy. Next, another H. This is a 39, 1939. There's another H right there. And an M right there. Couple of Ford. There's a cock chute. You don't see those too often anymore. Old tractor that was here and gone pretty quickly. Farmel B. There's Farmel A right there. Next to it is a very pretty H. Very nice paint job and such there. John Deere, 1939. Big turbo there from International. 73. And somebody's little way of getting around quickly. Cutting some ditch grass there. 1958 on that one. Oliver. '41 case. Pioneer days are definitely a time where multiple generations can get together and talk about really the kind of the history. There's a 1950 case right here. Yeah, next to it is a 1941 Farmel M Series. 1936 Farmel F20. 1929 Farmel Regular, that's what it says. Can't say I've seen one like that. And another B on the end here. Alice Chalmer, right there, WC. 1941 on that guy. Minneapolis Moline from 1949. Minneapolis Moline 1950, and it's an R. 1944, another Model R. And 1952 Z, Minneapolis Moline Z. And the final one in this stretch is a 1946 Minneapolis Moline, a U series. Well, that was our first row. We have got row upon row, and then we have the tractor parade must be going or something somewhere. So we're gonna just sneak down here. There's some antique machinery up ahead of us here. But we're going to have to continue on through a lot of our other stuff here. I want to just show you the antique. We'll walk by. We're not going to be able to do the whole row. There's a lot of stuff here at the Pioneer Days here in Albany. But the whole grounds covers many acres here. And they've got tractors, and they've got some, of course you can see down there, there's RVs. There's a huge RV park on the other side of the road here to the north of the grounds that has developed for the event. Okay, we're into our John Deere tractors for a little bit here. Here's a John Deere 420. John Deere 620 from 1957. A John Deere B. Going up a little bit, making it a little bit higher is a John Deere A. Notice the clearance difference between the two tractors, depending upon what you're wanting to use it for. For cultivating, there's times where you want that extra height. John Deere 70. Old two-bottom plow. John Deere A. I'm not sure what model that one is. Here's where my history of tractors fails me, because it's been so long since I've looked at a lot of these. A Model G, there we go. On this side it talks about it. Model A on this one. And again, a multi-generational event here at the Pioneer Days grounds, where you've got Grandpa coming and really telling some stories to the kids or grandchildren, great-grandchildren, because there's history here that, as an example, right there, some of these tractors are still kind of functional, but there's things such as some of these older steel-wheeled steam tractors that are just not seen anymore. Ford from 1948, 1953 Ford, 1949, a Farmel B, a 1951 Minneapolis Moline, 1957 Ford. I guess I've not seen a Ford. I'm so used to seeing the Ford as the older style. That's kind of interesting. I did not know that tractor existed. McCormick. And there's a big old guy. Let's see if we can see any dates on these things. No, not really. Big old case right there. Like the way they have shade for not only the cab or where the driver would be, but also trying to shade some of that engine, keeping water off it, sun off it. John Deere 1010. Starting to get into the more modern numbers, which still makes that a very old tractor. Minneapolis Moline G1000. That's getting into the years and the types of tractors that I became more familiar with and grew up on. G900. Getting a lot closer to what we used to use around the area here. All these were used around the area at some point in time, or all these types of tractors were used in the area. The tractor parade is going, and you'll be able to see the video footage of the tractor parade. We'll have that up. Oh, look, probably can't appreciate the paint job on that, but oh, does that look like a factory showroom new tractor there. The shine is a pretty paint job. A Farmel H right there. John Deere B. Farmel 300. Yeah, multiple generations. Talking about the older tractors there. Farmel. I think we got a lot of people here who are getting ready for the tractor parade. Oh, he's got a little air spreader back there. 1955 International 300. Minneapolis Moline from 1966 right there. Hey, Brumley right there. Minneapolis Moline from 1939. We looked at that guy. Some of them are moving around, or actually, no, that's the second one, excuse me. There's one over there. Expecting someone to come through and honk at it and watch it tip over. From 1910, this one is where that's what's etched in the side of it at 1530. And our last one in this row. We're going to switch rows here and start up, and the tractor parade is going, so we're going to hopefully get past some of these before they get pulled into the parade. Okay, now we're headed the other direction. We're looking at, start us off with a Ford here. From 1950, cock sheet there. 1946. 1939 Farmall next. And the tractor parade is, they're getting running right there, so we gotta hustle. The Farmall, you can see the rest of the tractors and the other rows that are already gone. And they're getting ready here, so I'm gonna just kind of walk up ahead. So 1952 there. They can go and move some snow. 1955. Kind of moving along so we can get past the parade route. And there's the parade route just getting started. It's been going actually for a little while. It's continuing along. We're going to keep walking through the rest of the tractors here. Got a 57 right there, a 56. Look at the shine, if you can see that on the camera, I'm not sure, but just they painted these up and refurbished them. Just look fabulous. 1957. A cultivator on the bottom of that one. And the H there. A case from 1945 right there. A B414 International. Oh, the wind is giving us a little... Ooh, that's a Silver King. That's kind of a pretty... I've not seen one like that before. More of a roadster there. Hey guys! Kerosene, water. And they'll sneak through here and jump across. And we've got our few John Deere coming up here. (1935) John Deere. Next to a 1936. Loaded the steel wheels, and in 1936 in this model, a B and in the BN. The BN had obviously had rubber, and it had a single front tire. We're at the Albany Pioneer Days, looking at some of the tractors here. 1949, it looks like John Deere there. This little John Deere has a cultivator all ready to go. Looks like it's been used recently. They definitely looks like it's gotten some use out of it. 1934 right there, John Deere. A cock shoot 30. And its little brother, the 20. We got a 1952 on this one. We got some Ford tractors here. Hi. Doing some nail painting there. Oh, that's kind of cool. They've got some different toys there, models. Someone has got some talent there to put those together. Those are handmade there. The case from 1954. The John Deere from 1950. 1954 John Deere right there. We got a case. And these guys are getting ready for their tractor. The tractor parade. And everyone's getting ready to go. So we're going to keep moving along here so we're not in their way if they need to get going all of a sudden. A couple more John Deere here at the end. Model D John Deere. We got a Farmel and John Deere at the very end there. Oh, we got kind of an overlook here. Well, lots of history here, gang. A lot of history, a lot of labors of love, and it's in the plural, because not only to restore but to keep them up and then to bring them here and share talent and history. 1953 Alice John Deere. What is it, a 54 it looks like, or 34? No, it can't be 34. Yeah, 54. Handwriting. Custom paint job on that. John Deere. A tribute tractor. 530 John Deere. You can hear some of those big old engines on that we were just looking at down the hill. Hear them getting ready to roll. '59 John Deere right there, next to a 52. Well, I tell you, it's really nice when they have big signs. It makes it a lot easier to see. 1952 on the other side of this golf cart. I can't see. I think that's a 54. John Deere 830 diesel right there. A 720. (1944) from and a little John Deere. A Cub demonstrator. The 1950 Farmel C. All right, tell you what, the number of tractors they have here to be able to get them all out into the parade. But you're seeing them lined up right here to get them into the parade, and then to get them back lined up like they have them. I'll tell you, that's not a small feat. That's taking a lot of folks here really putting a lot of effort into making the Pioneer Days event. Yeah, a lot of volunteers working very hard here. We're going to continue on and go start checking out the next buildings here and see what is new. Yeah, we'll go check out that one right ahead of us. We've got another band getting ready to kick things off here in just a little bit. And the crowd is having a little bit of lunch. We've got some food on the side. People are getting a drink in the back and getting ready to go. Let's go out and check the next building. And they've got an area here for the kids to come in and play. A lot of kids' toys here set up so they can come in and play and have a good time. Well, the adults are out here watching the tractor parade going through with some of the big old tractors and some of the little guys. So we're into one of the buildings which has the old-time print shop. A lot of the tools from an old-time print shop from the early days of newspaper creation, we'll call it. A little bit of a different world from what we do today when we're creating the hometown news. When we do things, everything's digital now. A lot of the different plates and different things that they use or have used over the years where the letters are put together and things are taken in, and you can see right on the right there, if you look at right there, is actually it comes down, it puts ink on there, and it slaps the paper on there, and then it puts it over there. And what they're doing is they're printing these little sheets of paper to make these little tablets. But this is the kind of stuff that a lot of the newspapers, that technology where it would be a metal plate design, and you're seeing a metal plate right, a second, I'm trying to point to it. Right there. That little metal plate is what they use. And they would have the letters and numbers and different things that they would use to put the paper together. And do different paper cutters and presses and different tools all used. A lost art is really what this is. Even some of these plate makers that were more semi-modern, where they would be able to go and lay the paper out and do some different things. A lot of that technology is, what we started out with the hometown news back in the early 2000s and how that worked compared to what we're even doing today. In 10 to 15 years, it's taken some major shifts and major changes. So the old machinery for making and doing a newspaper. Melting metal down there for making some cool stuff here. We'll head to the next building. An old pump press where he's got his plate set right there. The ink goes over. The paper goes, and he is able to print business cards. Now, press like this. What would the largest capacity as far as paper? Could this do like a newspaper?
No, you can do like 8.5 by 11.
Okay, so this would have been just making copies of different flyers and such.
Right.
Yeah.
This one's got a patent of 1887 on it.
1887. Wow. So where was this used when it was in a business of some sort?
Like a commercial print shop or where they printed like envelopes and your letterheads.
Sure. Did this come from central Minnesota somewhere, or do we know that?
Yeah, I would say this one I don't have a name where it comes from, but this is the box. So.
Very nice. That is a 100-and-some-year-old printing press. Well, the tractor parade is still going on, and there are a lot of tractors in the tractor parade. We're gonna head to the next building here, but I wanted to show you because we've got some of those big boys coming down the line here. Notice the chains that they're using for steering on that one. I don't know if you got that. There's more coming down. We're going to jump into the next building here and check it out. The Mercantile. Quilting, which is going to become a lost art. Doing the hand stitching and things. Our way. I have the stove all hooked up, and they have a sign saying stove is hot, so it is something that they can turn on and, or I should say, start a fire in and cook or bake. The milk, do you carry milk bottles? Small version of a cream separator, a little bit smaller than the ones that I grew up with. For those wondering, there's toasters, potato ricer right there, and potato mashers. A sausage stuffer is what the sign says right there. And then the coffee grinder right there. And a cabbage slicer right there. Yeah, there's probably a different term for it, but that's what we called it at home. Another stove. Pantry there. A couple of different ice boxes here. Kind of trying to show you everything here. Another older refrigerator. And a press. A press right there. Slide over here. Old. Get that camera back on the shoulder. A lot of handmade crafts right there. Now we're gonna sneak around this way. Those are VHS, that's not that old. But then again, in this day and age, VHS is probably a historical thing. Cash register, it looks like right there. I don't think that was an adding machine. I'm pretty sure it was cash register. Some medical. Oh, we'll take a look at this. Old wheelchair, an examination table. It's from the Albany area clinic. Used there once upon a time. That looks comfortable. Maybe not. Historical lab equipment and different things that the folks in the area here over the years have experienced as part of their medical technology of the time. Oh, some old trunks. Washing machines. A variety of different washing machines. Now we're getting over to the, not these, but this one. My experience with one of these is that's what we used to wash pickles as kids. Throw the pickles in there, turn it on, and let it slosh around, and out came the clean pickles when you were done. Of course, you didn't run them through the wringer. Oh, we got a loom here. She's making some of the rugs there. Lots of handcrafted items over here. We have gone through a couple of the buildings so far, and you can still see the tractor parade is going. It's been going for quite a long time. Now, I sent one of our folks over to shoot the parade, and I'm hoping that she's still in one piece, because she was doing it, unfortunately, without a tripod. If I'd have known that the parade is going to be this long, I would have brought a tripod for her. But we're going to go to the next building, because this is one of my favorites here. This is their model railroad area. It's a favorite for little kids and big kids alike. Lots and lots of tractors. Lots of tractors. So let's go on up here into the... So we're in the model railroad building right here. The Central Minnesota Model Railroad Association puts this together at the Albany Pioneer Days. HO gauge. They do a ton. We're just going to sneak on down here. Give you an idea of what. And again, it's a very, very popular place with kids and adults. Just a lot of cool things to look at, different communities that they've designed. Right there is the old Sauk Rapids paper mill, which is a thing of the past. Lots of people here checking this out, because this is really one of the cool buildings here. As the kids, young at heart, can come in here and check this out. This is the model railroad here at the Albany Pioneer Days. Take a look at that big boy there, 1913 Case 80. The family, the Volk family has owned that since new. That's pretty cool. So to a point, you can almost call it a one-owner tractor. That's pretty cool. So let's go check out the next building here and see what we've got. Can I sneak through here, guys? Pardon me, I'm gonna coming into the blacksmith shop where they've got some of the old hand tools and old metal things they made. Let's take a journey over here. Let's walk around the corner here. We can do this. Let's see if we can see in there. There we go. Yeah, we can see in there. Let's get between the wires. Get between the wires and maybe get a focus there. So that's where their furnace, and they can go and they can get the metal hot so it's pliable, shape it, bend it, flatten it, whatever they need to do. But as they say during the parade, they have to shut everything down, so you're not able to do what they're doing. But it's a really cool spot here. So we're going to keep going. There's that tractor parade still going, still coming through. It's going to continue sneaking up here. Let's see, we're coming. Hey, here's our gal shooting video. Lori from the Hometown News is right there shooting away. She's been there for a long time today. So we're gonna come to the next building and see what we have. Excuse me, guys. See what we've got in here. Ah, it looks like some woodworking. This is a new building that they're just built here on the grounds. Some woodworking, a lathe, and some bandsaw, some scroll saw, older bandsaw, table saw there, older table saw. Oh, and then they've got the racetrack for the Boy Scouts. Let's check out what he's doing over here. What are you making?
Mallets. The handle.
Ah, the handle for the mallet. I got you.
I've been busy. You can see by the pile of stuff.
Some of the old woodworking. An old lathe right there. Yeah, those are very neat. Very neat. Some very cool stuff here at the Pioneer Days. Yeah, that's kind of a cool grader. Very neat stuff here. Very neat stuff. We're going to continue on to our next building, if we can find the next building. Parade is still going on, and they're still pulling tractors from the roads in which we were up at earlier. We're going to go find another building here. A couple of engines here. A lot of cool stuff here at the Pioneer Days. There's an example. There we go. You have one working. If you can see it over there. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. And right there. So they've got their old one cylinder spinning the cement mixer. RVs and tents, and well, this is one of the RV areas right here. There's some here, and they go back a couple of rows, some tents over here, and then it continues on the other side of the road for, goodness gracious, probably 60, 70 acres on the other side, it seems. Old toy pedal tractors. A couple of pedal cars, but lots and lots of pedal tractors. It's a beautiful day today here in Albany. It's about 67, 68, 69 degrees, somewhere in that ballpark. So a little bit of a breeze, as you've been hearing, I'm sure, with the microphone. Oh, it must be a can crusher there. And then they have a water pump right there. With go-go dancers at the top of their water pump. Okay, going and just seeing some of the creativity and people demonstrating how to use some of these older motors. Engines, I suppose, would be more appropriate. I don't think the horse was on that. Yeah, I don't think that horse is on there. Back in the day. There we go. We have the engine doing its thing and then rocking the chair. And a seatbelt, because you know safety is really important. Especially when you have a power rocking chair. And they running a Ferris wheel. Some old cars that would be used at, like, I believe similar to this is at Valley Fair. You run around with those. I'll continue on up here. We've got a few more buildings to get through. Old washing machine right there, where they've used an engine on it. Check out this trailer that these gentlemen are sitting on. I think we've gotten to kind of the probably the dairy. We'll call it the dairy building of the Pioneer Days grounds. We got a cream separator right there. And there's a few products in here. There's a variety of different things because we've got a plow down there, but there is some different milking machines here. The bucket that a lot of us grew up with. And then I'm getting into some different milking machines. Up on top, let's look up there. There's a yoke for ox or whatever you needed. You're putting your animals together. An old sled there. An old cultivator right there. And back right there is an old meat saw. It's basically a band saw. An old reel lawnmower, but a power reel lawnmower. Another milking machine. Another mowing machine. Some old saws, ice cutting saws right there. And they'd have to harvest ice from the lakes in the winter and put them into ice buildings. And there are more milking machines here. Oh, the old fly sprayers. Oh, I remember using those as a kid.
This one here, you stack back here, and it comes to your feet.
And that, so you were the power to have for a milking machine. Interesting. I've not seen that before. So could you milk 2 cows at the same time? I'll be darned. Oh wow, very cool. Let's check this out. Old butter boxes. Now my grandmother used to save things like this for a variety of different reasons because you wouldn't throw anything out that might be used at a different time. So some of these look very familiar. Produced in Rose City right there. I mean, just some of these small town creameries that were able to produce their own butter back in the day. How times have changed. Not only can they not produce their products much like that anymore, not only because of it not being financially feasible, but of course you've got different rules and regulations and things just don't work like they used to that way. Let's see, we're going to keep going. Clock and model building. Let's check this one out next. Oh, before we get in there, let's look at some old gardening. Some old rototillers right there. Lots of stuff to see here at the Pioneer Days. You turn around and there's more stuff that you haven't seen before. These are actually working models. That's pretty cool. That is really, really neat. Let's bump around here. And check this out. That is very cool.
The same one that builds the cannibal. There's a guy there right now that makes cannibal. And it's not to the bottom Tighten that up, get
Really cool stuff here. Built in 1922. A clock mechanism. Okay, so where is the clock? We'll find it. Well, not sure where it is or what they've got, how they've got it set up. We'll have to find out. Alright, we'll work our way around here to the other side of the building and see what else we've got. Looking at some of the detail of the work, very, very impressive. Some incredibly talented folks here at the Pioneer Days. Some really cool models here. A little woodworking shop there.
I gave him a little piece of pipe. Blew it up in, stuck in a hole down here. Gave him something here. We're going to get on that. No, it's not. It's not. Right here. Pull it out there. He was having trouble keeping up with it, so once I turned up the speed on it, at first he's getting a nice cloud cut out, and I turned it up, and you want to get such a nice cloud out.
Okay, let's head to the next building and see what we have here. Next, let's walk around and take a look at what this guy is. Old log building with the See if it's something we can get into or not. No, just an old log building that is on display. Tractor parade still going on. Lots and lots of tractors going on today. Those big old flywheels are going. Well, we're getting towards a point. Is it the end? No, we've got a few more buildings to go, but we're going to turn around and go into the church here and take a look inside. We'll wander on in there and see if we can see inside and take a look.
Buckles are going to keep sliding off. So now they just trash them, you know, the way they're going to walk the ways. But when I was growing up, someone would have as many as 8 or 10 sacks, and you could hear the steam engine coming down. That was so exciting.
Nice. Okay, let's head to the next building. The tractor parade is still going on here today. It's been going on for, oh goodness, well over an hour. But we're looking at some tractors in here that probably just a little bit too old to make the journey. Some that aren't quite up to being run through the parade. So we're just going to kind of walk through and take a look and see if there's anything that really catches our eye here. Oh, we have a truck up here. Well, I'll take a look at that. It's interesting. Let's try to see if what does it give me here. I can't really tell what kind of a truck it is. We'll back up here so you guys can take a better look at it. And of course, solid tires on the truck there. And a corn picker. It certainly looks like it. I'm going to switch sides here. Excuse the jostling that we're going to have throughout this video as we're switching shoulders and switching sides. A Wallace tractor right there. Big old steel.
Wow.
1935, it could make 30 miles an hour? Wow. Wow. There are a few tractors that can do that today. WD. Oh, look at the small, narrow tire on that. Take a look at the front tires on that too. Not something you take into soft soil. And the tractor parade continues. I'm seeing lawnmowers, I've seen cars, I've seen old everything going through the parade over there. Okay. A Shepherd diesel. Some very, very old International 8 to 16 horsepower kerosene. But depending upon where the tractors were needed and where they were going to be utilized, and what part of the country, part of the state even, would dictate what type of tires. We saw the really narrow, and now we see a little fatter, but they're still steel, depending upon the soils. And of course the uses. Rock Island. These are a couple of Rock Island tractors. Tractors that probably sit here. Maybe a couple of them move once in a while on the end here, but most of them, this is probably their home until the building goes down. Four-wheel drive tractor there.
People that was interested in that.
This is a tractor.
No one, it's got a belly mower on it.
See up there?
Lots and lots of old engines there. Well, the tractor parade might be over. The crowd seems to be kind of thinning a little bit, moving around. We're going to continue. We're getting towards the end here. A few more things to look at out here. Looks like we have some plows. Let's see. Now let's head across the road here and see what they've got going on. Lots of old oil cans and lubricant containers back there. Lots and lots of very cool stuff. Well, let's go continue on down the trail here and see what we're gonna see next. Oh, we've got some harvesting and threshing parts going on. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, so we have corn on the cob. Go sending it into the machines right there. Then the corn cobs go there, and the shelled corn goes in on the other side. Doing a similar thing over here. Except he's doing it smaller unit. This is what this is being powered with over here. We'll continue on over here. Let's see, we'll get around here to the other side so we can actually take a better look at this, hopefully. But we are threshing over here. They've got so you can see they're up on the trailer there, putting the oats in the machine, threshings. We'll come on over here and get a better angle of it. A little bit of a threshing show going on here. And they've got some balers set up. Lots of shocks of grain there. I'm seeing slab wood over here, so they must have a wood. Must be cutting wood somewhere. Oh, we're yet to do. Let's get to that. Boy Scouts are selling some beverages here. Okay, now we're getting into the wood production area here. Let's see what's going to be our best way to take a look at this. And they brought their fish house out. So they have a device that must cut the wood. Sure, it cuts it to length, splits it, and then loads it right up. Not exactly pioneer-esque. Well, we're going to continue on here. I think we've got some more. I think we're getting into the flea market area. There's another building at the very top of the hill. I'm curious to check that out. So let's just hustle through this flea market area, and then we'll go check out that building at the very top of the hill. A couple of oxen. Lots of flea market things going on up here. But let's go check in this building. I think we've got some music going on. Well, this is our quick walkthrough. I think there's lots of stuff we missed. There's got to be things in many places that I missed. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you stuck with us this long, thank you very much for that. But we are walking around the Pioneer Days 2015 here in Albany, Minnesota. This is John Young with the Hometown News. Once again, thanks for watching.